Bezat Hashem, we're back at the Limud. Midrash David Chai, B'shat Matzliach. Today is Sunday, the first day of the week of Parashat Shabbat, Parashat Mishpatim. Bezat Hashem, the 18th of Shvat. So we already touched this last week, but we're going to do it again quickly. Halacha Zayin, Siv Zayin of Kuf Nun Chet, 158. נטל ידיו לדבר שביטולו במשקה ואחר כך רוצה לאכול לחם. So what happened was the person washed his hands meticulously. He's going to eat something that he's going to dip into the water. For instance, he's going to be eating, I don't know, cookie or whatever the things that we require you to wash your hands for before you eating. So he washed properly like for bread, but without a bracha, it's not for bread. So now, in the middle of either before he started eating, or while he was eating, says, you know what, I want to make a hamotze. He sees bread, let me eat hamotze. Okay, ואחר כך רוצה לאכול לחם, יש מי שנראה בדבריו שאין אותה נטירה עולה לו. So some say, Mishnah Shulchan Aruch tells us, I'm reading Mishnah Shulchan Aruch, that he's telling us that looks like there is an opinion that holds that he's not yotzeh. This washing is not going to help him to make hamotze. He washed properly. No, he washed properly. He washed, remember, for the things that you for sure, if you tover something into the milk, or you tover something into, like we said, honey, or whatever it is, you have to wash your hands properly. So according to one opinion, if you remember in Chafetz Chaim, he told us to wash mamash, like washing bread. Like you're washing for bread, the whole thing. Also, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, dry your hands and eat, that's it. No bracha. So he says that Shulchan Aruch says since his washing was not for bread, his washing was for the fruit or for whatever the item that he's eating. So there is an opinion that holds no, he cannot say hamotzi now. If he wants to eat bread now, he has to go wash his hands again, and only then say hamotzi. Okay. ואין צריך לומר אם נטל ידיו שלא לאכול ואחר כך נמלח ואכל. He says, and for sure it's clear to all that if he just washes his hands without any intention to eating, and all of a sudden now he wants to eat, that's for sure clear that he has to go and wash again. Because his natira was at all not for eating. Person went in the hand and he was 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. There was no eating intentional to eat, right? And now he wants to eat even fruits. You know what's going on here? Shulchan Aruch says, there's no question that he has to wash again. Because he had no intention.
Even fruits.
Even anything. Yeah, because remember, this washing is different from the washing. Even whatever he's going to be dipping into the liquid, he has to wash again for the liquid, for the eating, special washing for the liquid, for consuming food. Okay, that's Shulchan Aruch. Haga, ואם לא הסיח דתו יטול בלא ברכה. So, now, why is Haga saying, ואם לא hisiach dato? But if he didn't speak about anything else, or he didn't have any intention to talk anything else, then he should what? Make a bracha? Sorry, wash without making a bracha. But he didn't make a bracha before. So this Rama is, remember, we had this Rama, something like that. He's very confusing. What is he talking about? What is he implying? So the first thing is, like we see over here, Mishnah Berurah, listen to this. What does that mean? So Berurah explains. ואם שהה כמה שעות עד שאכל פת מוכח לקמן, צריך מדינה ליטול ידיו שנית, וממילא צריך לברך גם כן. So he says, what does that mean? That he didn't have any other intention, or he didn't, ואם שהה כמה שעות עד שאכל פת, so somebody waited a good hour before he start eating, right? There for sure he has to wash again and the bracha. Even though, that's what he means. You say, hisiach dato means, Ramai is implying, says Mishnah Berurah, that he knows his hands are tahor, and every second is in his hands. I do that many times. I wash my hands, and I want to go. I want to go down to daven, to filah, whatever it is, right? So your child is coming, is calling you. So what are you going to do? Let's say even dress your child. You want to help your child to get dressed. Now, any parts that you touch with the child while you're dressing, your hands become tameh.
Even with a child?
Of course. What's the difference?
Anything you touch.
Makom tameh. It's makom tameh. A child is also makom tameh, no?
Is it? I don't know.
Oh, yeah, for sure. There's no difference. There's no difference. A boy over 9, a girl over 3, boy also some over 5 already. Any place that's covered, it's tameh.
So boy under 9?
Huh?
Boy
Over
under
9.
Boy.
Saying a 6-year-old comes up to it's
Dress him up and you touch his private parts. Yes, could be that's gonna make it tameh. 5 years old. Usually 5. Tumah is different. I was thinking it's neat. There's a difference between the boys. Boys is 9 years old. You cannot see their privates. Girls under 3. Anything over 3, you're not allowed to say a bracha for a girl. A boy over 9, you cannot say bracha in front of him. Okay? So just
You're allowed to take care of the girl, like changing diapers, stuff like that. 3 years old. It's a joke for the rabbis.
No, not second. So again, if you're mamash, you're wiping her number 2. Of course you have to wash your hands. There's no question.
No.
You're tameh. There's not a question at all, right? But let's say your wife did a shower for somewhere I said 5 years old. Up to 5 is not so. What's his name? Not so machmir. Because anyway, you're cleaning them, you're dressing them up. But again, if you're mamash touching the davar garbage, the hotzav that comes out, also tameh. Yeah, but again, if you're dressing up, so that's the discussion. So if you're, let's say, a 6-year-old comes to you and says, "Dress me up, help me to dress up." So you be careful. You want to run. You're in a rush to shul. You don't want to wash your hands again. Winter time, it's cold outside, right? So you don't want to wash your hands again. The less washing water, the better. So you're meticulous. You make sure your hands are not tameh. So that's what Rama says. Lo siach dato. It means he was careful to always with his hands not to touch tumah. Says even then, says Rama, let's say even 2 hours later, Baruch Hashem, he works in computers, all typing. His hands for sure not tameh. He knows. He's paying attention. Says Rama, still he has to wash his hands again and make a bracha for eating. Okay. Now I understand Rama a little bit. He told blo bracha. אם נגע באכילתו במקומות המטונפות בגופו יחזור ואיתו לידיו. Says Rama, even if you were eating, this happens very time in Florida. It's a very common thing. People here believe that they don't have to be tznius. Right? They don't have to be tznius. Unfortunately, they come to shul with mini pants, with shirts, with they opened up over here and they scratch themselves all over the place while they're praying on their thighs, and then it doesn't matter. In the middle of a meal, you touch yourself anywhere that's always covered. That's supposed to be covered. Any part of the leg is tameh, and even above 2/3 of a shoulder here, it's tameh. So anything from the neckline all the way down is tameh. Anywhere you touch, says in the middle of Suda, you must get up. You cannot continue eating. Wash your hands and come back to eat. That's the Rama. All right. Says the Mishnah Berurah, סעיף קטן כ"ח. יש מי שדהיינו לדעת מקצת הפוסקים שזכרתי לעיל בעוד קרב, דסבירה להו, דאין חיוב נטילה לטיבול במשקה בזמן הזה. Now, so says Shulchan Aruch said like this: you washed your hands, and you're eating something, you're dipping into the liquid. So he says, now you want to eat bread, you have to go wash again. So Mishnah Berurah explains why. Tell you why. Because there are many poskim that say, many Rabbanim who hold, that you don't have to wash today. You don't have to wash today at all of the fruits. It's only minhag, we're trying to train you for Beit HaMikdash time, right? But right now it's not. So there is no chiyuv. So now, since there's no chiyuv, your washing is nothing. It's considered like nothing. So you washed, big deal.
Why you do bracha?
You didn't do bracha. You washed your hands for fruit. You don't make a bracha. Okay? So the guy went ahead and he washed his fruit, and now he's eating fruits. In Nimlach, he changed his mind. He wants to eat bread. Go wash again, because we're going according to those opinion. The reason why we wash is because we hold the opinion that say you have to wash because preparation for Mashiach. You have to trust Hashem. Mashiach is going to come any minute. So we want to train you. Wash your hands all the time. That's nice. But now lemaaseh, since the washing is not an obligation, and you washed for the fruit, and now you want to eat bread, that doesn't count. If you want to eat bread, go wash for the bread again. Specific washing. ולכן אין יוצא בנטילה זו לאכילת פת, דלא נטל לשם נטילת המחויבת. Because over there, when you washed for fruits, your netilah was not obligation. Now that you want to wash hands for what? For an obligation. You want to eat bread, that's an obligation. Nobody disagrees on that. Everybody is an opinion that if you want to eat bread, you must wash your hands. That's without a question. That was the takana lechatchila. The whole washing hands was that for the bread, that you should be purity. Chavted, שלא לאכול כגון שהיו ידיו מלוכלכות ונטלן, ולא היה ידעתו בלאכול אז, נמלח לאכול ולא סייע דתו, בינתיים בזה כל שכן די נטילה ראשונה עולה לו, דלא הייתה לשם קדושת כלל. So he says now, what you came to wash your hands. What you come to wash your hands for? To tefillah. You want to learn Torah. You have to wash your hands. You have to be pure anytime you do anything that's pure. We already said that many times, right? We said even last week, if we remember, that somebody comes and says, I want to eat dry fruits, where there's no obligation to wash at all. And the guy washes his hands mishum obligation. He says it's a chovah. He's a gavtan, he's a sword. This person is a davar that Hashem despises such a person. The halakha says over there. Why? Because he came to wash when he's not obligated. Good. So somebody came and washed, he washed his hands. Not for eating. Obviously it makes sense. Mishnah Berurah says that now that he came and he wants to eat, he has to wash his hands. Again, even though his hands are not tameh, he didn't see dato. That's a mirama. V'im kaya al kol ha'seif. Okay. לא יסיח דתו, דאם יסיח דתו משמירתן, לכולם צריך ליטול שנית וברכה. ואז הנטילה הראשונה עולה לו לכלל. Now, Brahma pointed out that he is meticulous to pay attention that his hands doesn't become tameh. But if he's not so meticulous, he forgot what he did in a second, he didn't remember what his hands are, that's, everybody agrees with our question at all that he has to wash. בלא ברכה דקמה פוסקים סבירה להו, בנטילת ידיים לחולין אף אם לא כיוון לשם נטילה יצא, אם לא הסיח דתו מאל שנתן ידיו. Okay, so he says like this. Now, what is this בלא ברכה? So, ואם לא הסיח דתו, ייטול בלא ברכה. אם נגע באכילתו מקומות ומטורפות, אוקיי. ואם לא הסיח דתו, ייטול ברכה, שלא לאכול ברכה. כך, ואם לא הסיח דתו, ייטול בלא ברכה. Oh, so 1 second. So this blo bracha, that was the problem. What is Rama saying? You wash your hands without a bracha. You wash your hands the first time without a bracha. So what's going on? Why does he throw that in? Blo bracha. And that's what Mishnah Berurah says in Berurah Lacha. Itol blo bracha. Ayen lekaman Siman kuf nunted. במשנה ברורה, כשאין לו מים יש לסמוך על הנטילה הראשונה.
אבל גם בראשונה הוא לא בירך.
Right.
נו, אז אכל לחם בלי לברך. עשה נטילה, נימק נטילה, but he did not bless.
So what's the problem with you? He doesn't have to, okay, נטילת ידיים, ברכה על נטילת ידיים לא מעכבת. It's not in charge of, it's not going to tell you, oh, you didn't make a bracha, you don't eat. You already know that if you eat pachot me 56 grams, you don't make a bracha anyway. If you intend to eat less than 56 gram bread, you don't make al netilat yadayim. We already know that. So it's not me'akev. It's not telling you not allowed to make a bracha. The question is here now, לא הסיח דתות, אם הסיח דתות משמרתן, לכולן מצריך ליטול ישנית ובברכה. Wow. So Mishnah Berurah explaining that if he, what did he do here? אין צריך לומר אם נטל ידיו שלא לאכול ואחר כך מנמלח ואכל, ואם לא הסיח דתו ייטול בלא ברכה. נאמר אם נטל ידיו שלא לאכול. ואז אין הנטילה הראשונה עולה לו כלל. We have to, this is what I was thinking here. What's happening here, that Rama is going based on the opinion that he is washing for mincha. There is an opinion that says for washing for mincha you have to make a bracha on the netilat.
That's what I'm trying to understand, because even the second time we have a chiyuv to bless on the bread, to do a motzi, but you washing second time without bracha when you do not have chiyuv on a bracha, but you're not doing, but you have chiyuv on a bread.
No, that's not the question. The question is like this. He says, Shulchan Aruch, ve'en tzarich lomar, it's obvious to all. En tzarich lomar means it's obvious to all. Im natal yadav shelo le'echol. A person is washing his hands, he doesn't want to eat. Mincha, for prayer. V'achar kach nimlach ve'achal. So now he finishes prayer and says, you know what, I want to eat. Goes to the kitchen here in Midrash, or they put out bagels after shacharit. So he washed for Birkat Kohanim, a Kohen. He did Birkat Kohanim in Rabbi Lior. Right after Birkat Kohanim, he put down the tefillin, puts everything away. Now he comes to the shul, to the library here. He's serving breakfast. He wants to eat hamotzi on the Birkat on the bagel. Can he be somech on washing his hands for Birkat Kohanim? So he says, שלא לאכול ואחר כך נמלח ויאכל, ואם לא הסיח דתו, so Rama says on that, if Rabbi Lior 1000% certain, after Birkat Kohanim he didn't touch his shoes, he's wearing slippers.
That's what I was about to ask.
He's wearing slippers. He goes, puts on his slippers, he didn't put on, he's not tameh at all. Takes off his tefillin, or let's say it's gonna be what? Mincha shel ta'anit. There's no tefillin. Bukharians, we don't wear tefillin, unlike Syrians. Okay, so now he doesn't take out tefillin, so there's no tzah to say he's going to become tameh. He did Natirat Yadayim right after mincha. He listened to a shmuz of the rabbi, the daven arbit, and already 20 minutes after Shkiyat Chama, he comes now to break his ta'anit. He wants to eat the bagel.
So different washings.
Okay, 1 second. So that's the question. So ve'im lo yisirato yitol b'lo bracha. He says like this. Even though you're saying a good thing, according to Rama, even though it's 2 different washings, but he didn't do anything else. He just did benching. Now his hands are not tameh. So and Mistama, we have to say that he had maybe in his mind that he's going to eat soon. Right after it's advertised all over science. Right after Arabit, we're breaking ta'anit, bagel. Let's go. Bacon logs, right? Chicken logs. Bacon logs he's going to eat right after, okay? So so that's in his mind. He wants to eat right after. So Rama says, why does he have to be nitilah? Because he's now still in safek. We're going to go now to the other extreme. Because since his hands are pure, he knows he's mamash. He just washed his hands. So it says Rama that maybe the netirat, maybe that's the chumrah here. He's saying that now that you're washing for bread, now you washed what? 1, 2, regular, right? But your hands are not tameh, says Rama. Since your hands are not tameh, maybe you're patur from the other netilah. The netilah of 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. That netilah you patur for the bread. Says Rama. Now Rama is saying you cannot say bracha anymore. Because your still hands are pure.
So if I wash again, I'm not.
You will have to wash because the proper washing. But the Natirat Yadayim you can say.
So don't we say just touch something and then wash?
Good. That's a different scenario, Bilal. That's a beautiful point, but we're not talking about this now. We're not going to be, that's the controversial poskin. There's a Ramachok Rav Ovadia, Ben Ish Chai, to do it, not to do it. Rav Ovadia is against it. Ben Ish Chai is for. Yeah. There's a whole thing about it. Okay, because again, those are the questions. Another Rav Ovadia says, how can Ben Ish Chai says this exactly those words? Like, you tameh your hands and wash again. But Rav Ovadia says, where are you allowed to do it? This is Ramah. Because the washing hands, you cannot defile yourself on purpose. You can't say, let me do something extra to make myself tameh, or in order to wash. No, that's not, the world doesn't work like that. So now that's where the Mishnah Berurah comes in. So now he says, okay, he doesn't have any water. Let's say in your scenario, a Kohen just washed, and then it comes to the sink. Habibi, you know what, those water comes from the river, 1 hour travel. Everybody washed their hands, and they said the Kohen, they don't listen. Leave us the water. We need to wash water. Who's going to travel 1 hour to the river to get the water? The olden days, right? Or Haman Islam, they forgot to pay the bill. They shut off the water. Okay, nothing else. That's the only water there. So it says you don't have to wash again because of the safek. Because there is a tzad to say that you yotze already. Why are you going to wash again for Bahamotzi? You know what's going on here? That's the way. That's the only way to explain the Rama. That there is a safek bracha lebatala, because why you have to wash? You have to wash because you're safek. You're already clean. So why you wash it again? So since we tell you no, you have to wash anyway because it's a different washing. It's a different style of washing for bread, a different style of washing for birkat kohanim. So since we mechayev you to wash, don't say bracha because of the safek. You cannot say because you already will not tell for birkat kohanim.
So in other words, if I wash the hands the wrong way and I said bracha for bread, it's okay?
L'choira, yeah, it's not ma'akef. Another good point says, yes. And right, so maybe we'll tell you, no, wash again without a bracha. Because what's his name? It's a different type of washing. So a good point. It's a psak halacha. Very good. If a person washed his hand for bread, like he does for the bathroom, many times we have guests, people who are not so, not so affiliated. They know washing, in the morning that's how they wash because the Rebbe taught them. Now they come to the Rebbe's house to eat Suda, and the person washes his hands like that. And he raises his hand until the time his wife comes to the husband and says, he washed. Okay, come over here, do like this. No bracha. No bracha. Yeah.
But is yotze? Even if does he have to do it again without a bracha?
That's what we say. Yes, of course he has to do it again. The Chorah he has to do it again because it's a different washing. That's what the Ramah is saying. That Netilat Yadayim for Birkat Kohanim is one way. Netilat Yadayim for bread is another way. So wash for Netilat Yadayim, but don't say bracha because you're in safek.
So it's the same thing if you leave the bathroom, you did netilah, and then you want to do motzi, you have to do again.
That's what we're talking about. But Rabbi Ovadia is against it. So Rabbi Ovadia in this scenario, since you already mentioned it twice already, Chavre, let me give you. I see you breaking in. So the Rabbi Ovadia says, and the Taka Ben Ish Chai also brings it down somewhere, that there is a way to wash after the bathroom for bread directly. If there's no time, there's no water, there's people waiting. Let's say it's a balabait, he's the one who's breaking the bread. The people are going to wait for him. It's Torah Tzibur. So what does he do? He takes the cup, Natilan, right? Take the right hand, give it to the left hand. Make sure the right hand is fully dry. Then he's shofech one time on the right hand. Puts down the cup. Wipe the left hand. Again, takes the right hand. Shofech one time, spills the one hand. Then puts the right hand into the left hand, the cup. And does 1, 2, 1, 2. So this is the special washing to be yotzei in that scenario where a person went to the bathroom and he doesn't have time, he doesn't want to be matriach in family to wait for him too long, or he has guests. So now he makes a motzi, eats 30 grams of bread. Beautiful question. The answer is after 30 grams of bread, he says asher yatzah, right there and there, after eating 30 grams of bread. Kazait, okay?
What time is Minchas?
5:55, I think. We have a few more minutes, right? What time is it?
It's 5:51.
Well, we have 4 more minutes. Okay. Let's see. Below bracha. Why it's below bracha? We already said because some poskim sovrim lehu de netilat yadayim lechulin af im lo chiven leshem netilat yatzayim lo yisir dato me'et shel shadatal yadav. Exactly those words. That since even though for chulin, not for bread, yatza. Some say yes. From what the Berurah the bebet Yosef Siman. It can it told below bracha shema yatza benetilah rishona. Those are the exact words. בנטילה הראשונה לא שייך לברך עבד נמלח לאכול סמוך ממש לנטילה כיוון שלא הייתה לשם נטילה האחרונים. So on the first one he cannot make a bracha because he didn't wash it for the bread. And it's already after washing, there he does not make a bracha. So it says Mishnah Berurah, איש מצליח, והכפיים כתב, listen to this, והכפיים כתב שאם עדיין לא נגב ידיו יחזור ליטול לשם אכילה ויברך. Whoa. That's going to be a problem. No, this is too much now. He's saying, even if his hands are still wet, wash again. כיוון שעדיין לא נגמרה מצוות נטילה הראשונה. Since he did not properly, if he didn't finish the washing yet. אם נגע ייגע במקומות המטונפות, שבגופו ויחזור לטול בברכה, עד כאן דבריו. So here, this is what Ben Ish Chai says, and this is Kafachaim, both saying the same thing. You wash the first time. Right? So here, scenario like this. According to Ben Ish Chai, you went to the restroom. Nobody's rushing. You went to the bathroom. Nobody even washed their hands yet. You went to the bathroom first. After Kiddush, you went to the bathroom. Right? Preferably to go to the bathroom before Kiddush. But let's say you did after. Right? Good. Everybody now, you ran to the bathroom, beeline, you come out, they still didn't wash their hands. Good. So now everybody's washing hands. Says Ben Ish Chai that you should wash your hands regularly before the bathroom. Say Asher Yatzar. Take your hand, touch your shoe, touch any part of your body that obligates you to wash again. Do the second washing and make them until the time you come to the table. That's Kafachaim, the same thing. V'yesh cholkim esovrim shelo yaseh ken. Yokut Yosef, Rabbi Yosef says no. V'ayen beharot shebasov hasefer. He says no, we don't do such a thing. We don't cause ourselves to become tameh. That's already inappropriate behavior. And we have to cut that out. That's what it is there. And again, asakacha mikubalim do like Ben Ish Chai. Some do like this. It's not a problem at all. Im naga, av bedavar shebitulo b'mashke mati Yehuda v'chein mashmir b'vur agra. So now, again, so we said if you are touching something, you're in the middle of a meal. You're in the middle of Suda, whatever you're eating. Could be bread or regular things that you're dipping into the 7 liquids, right? Like we said. Those that you need to Netilat Yadayim. And any time you scratch your back, you scratch your thigh, whatever it is, scratch your shin, whatever it is, if it's the place that beneath the clothing, on the skin itself, or scratch your scalp, right? There, mamash, this is a mamash open. But if you have hair, like mamash, if you have a little bit of hair, then you're not, even if you're scratching without, you don't have to wash. Because you're not touching your skull. The problem is touching the skull directly. That's going to be the problem. There you have to wash again without any problem. Baruch Adonai Olam, amen, amen. Bezat Hashem. Tomorrow we will start Siif Katan, Siif Ched, the 8th halacha in Shulchan Aruch, and we'll continue with Siyat Shemai. Thank you for joining. Anybody wants to join us? We're here approximately half hour before Mincha daily from Sunday through Thursday. Baruch Adonai Olam, amen.